watching a master at work.
That's my DMX right there. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to another episode of Hidden Figures Behind the Numbers with the Restaurant Scientist. I am Jason Wallace, the Restaurant Scientist. And I want to thank my partners, sponsors, Cornerstone Business Labs, Cornerstone Production, and Cornerstone Media. Because without them, they wouldn't let me in the studio. They pay all the bills. They pay all the bills. So today I'm proud and honored and happy to have a fellow military vet. I want to thank you for your service up front, sir. And fellow Culinary Institute of America graduate and chef extraordinaire, general manager extraordinaire, entrepreneur, Mr. Brandon Christopher Dukes.
What up?
BKD. Currently, Chef Dukes is a professor at Le Cordon Bleu College of Culinary Arts, and that's in Atlanta, Georgia.
Exactly. Yeah, that was one of my spots, and then those closed down. So now I'm actually teaching high school students.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And you have a food apparel line.
Oh man, I got a food apparel line, and you can see right now I have Duke's Delicious Dogs, which is my pop-up hot dog restaurant. I also do hoodies like this ATL Food Lover hoodie that I'm wearing right now. So I do a multitude of things within the entrepreneurial space, from apparel to pop-ups to private dinners.
Wow.
Classes. I do all kinds of things.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. I can't wait to take a deep dive into all of that, particularly them Duke's Delicious Dogs. So, Chef, tell my listeners a little bit about you. Who are you? Where you from? How'd you get into the crazy industry of the food service and restaurant business?
Well, let me tell you guys, I was born in Cleveland, grew up in Decatur.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I grew up in Decatur, Georgia. My first job was as a dishwasher at 15 years old in a place called Sizzler Steakhouse.
Yep.
And I was a dishwasher, busboy. You know, I kind of did the traditional move my way up. I did dishwasher, busboy, salad prep. And then one day the manager came to me and said, "Brandon, I'm gonna give you a chance on the line." I said, "Yeah, let's do it." So I got on that line, man, on a Friday night, Jason, man, and those tickets started coming through. And you know, that rush started coming, and the hollering and the screaming and the teamwork and going behind and in front and hot and everything. The fryers going, and man, the waiters and waitresses are screaming, and everybody is just in control of chaos. And at that moment, I said, "This is for me."
Right.
I loved it. I just loved the rush.
Right.
So I did that for a little while, and then it was around 1920. I said, "Man, I gotta do something here. It's kind of at a crossroads." I said, "What is Brandon gonna do with his life, right?"
Right.
So it was either culinary school at that point, or I was gonna go to the military.
Okay. What year was this?
This was in 1995.
Okay.
94, 95, around there.
Got you.
And so I said, you know what? I love to travel. I want to get some money, some benefits. So I said, why not? Join the Navy. And I scored so high on the ASVAB, they asked me if I wanted to be a nuke and if I wanted to go submarines.
Got you.
So I said, no on the nuke, but I'll go on submarines.
Right.
They're like, well, what do you want to do? I said, man, I want to cook. I just want to cook. I'm not trying to shoot nobody. I'm not trying to get blown up. I'm not trying to do any of that stuff. Just let me cook.
Right.
So I cooked in the Navy for 4 years, and not only did I cook.
Shout out to the Navy. Hold on, you got Navy MSs.
Yeah.
What ship? What sub were you on?
USS Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
out
Okay.
of Norfolk, Virginia.
All right. I was on the USS Nitro AE-23. Shout out to all the USS Nitro AE-23 fellas out there, shipmates across the country.
No doubt. The best is the Navy, man. We the coolest out here, man.
Absolutely. So now you're in the Navy and you're MS3.
MS3, man, and not only was I in the Navy, man, but I excelled in the Navy, man. I gained a lot of awards for being the best MS,
Okay.
a multitude of times, and I kind of found my way when I got into the Navy. I became more academic, more motivated, and more ready to just do my thing, kind of finding my groove, right? So, but as I was coming up on 4 years, man, I said, you know what? I had a great time in the Navy. I traveled. I've done all the things I want to do. It's time to move on. And I kept hearing about this CIA. And I was like, man, what's this CIA thing, man?
Same thing for me.
Found out what's going on with this.
Never
so I kept
heard
hearing, man, this is the best culinary school in the world. It's the best this, best that. I said, you know what? Hey, that's where I need to be. Right. So I applied, got into school, and boom, boom, boom. Long story short, man, I did the culinary degree. I got a bachelor's degree. And while I was there, as you know, I became the president of the BCS or the BCA.
Yep.
From what you started.
Thank you very much.
Back in your day. So I said,
Absolutely.
let me carry on the tradition.
Absolutely.
And keep that club going.
And for the members, I mean, for the listeners out there, basically at the Culinary Institute of America, you know, it might have been 20 blacks on campus at any one time because there was always a rotation of students going on what we called externship out of maybe 1,200, 1,500 students. And there was no on-campus black club organization. So myself and others, we founded that organization, and brothers like Brandon came up behind us and kept it going, and it's still going to this day. And we want to thank all of the participants and the alumni out there for doing what they've done historically. Go ahead, Chef.
No doubt, man. I'm telling you that club was something that was definitely needed, man. While we were there, like you said, it was a minute amount of us, and right. we tend to stick together in that regard. But you know, after the CIA, man, I got recruited and went and worked for Four Seasons.
Okay. Wow.
But before that, when I was beginning to get my culinary degree, I started looking at jobs and calling around and getting job offers, and I was like, you know what? I'm not satisfied with that amount they're trying to give me. So I said, you know, I'm gonna hang tight. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna stay in school.
Right.
And so I got military money. I got, I'm good.
Right.
So I graduated CIA, went to work for Four Seasons.
Okay.
I worked for them for about 6 years, from assistant general manager, sommelier. I did that in Scottsdale, Arizona, and then I went internationally and worked in Costa Rica.
Wow.
So I got a great background and a lot of great training with Four Seasons for sure.
Gotcha.
And by this time though, man, I started getting the entrepreneurial bug a little bit. And I said, man, I need to start thinking about doing some things on my own.
Right.
Now that I got all this great experience. So
right.
I started a little business out in Costa Rica called Duke's Hospitality Services.
Okay.
And what I did out there was I did almost similar to the kind of things you do, Jason, where I did a little consulting and I did a lot of things with menu development out there, particularly with translating Spanish into English and how the menu flows and things of that nature, and kind of getting some of the locals to think more on the business side and look at ways to increase their bottom line.
Right.
So I did that for a little while, and I was like, man, let me go on back to the States, because I was there for 6 years. And this was around 2008 during the economic collapse.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I got to get up out of here. So I went on back to Atlanta, Georgia, back in about 2011. I came back, got right back into the restaurant industry. and was managing for about 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I got kind of burnt out by it actually. So I said, it's time to do a pivot. So I
Mm-hmm.
pivoted, and I pivoted into education.
Mm.
And that's where I got the opportunity with Le Cordon Bleu.
Got you.
I pivoted into education. And when I started with Le Cordon Bleu, I started off doing their restaurant supervision, entrepreneurship class, their wine and beverage class,
Okay.
all the front of the house administrative classes. But then eventually I said, you know what, man, let me get back into the kitchen. I can still
He's still
do
burnt.
my thing in the kitchen, man. Let's go. Right. So I got back into the kitchen and became a chef instructor as well. And I taught a lot of the foundational classes and
Got
the
you.
contemporary cuisine with the molecular gastronomy and things of that nature.
Right. Right.
And then finally, while I was with the Cordon Bleu, I said, boom, let me open up some businesses.
Mm.
And that's where the Foodie Apparel came in. And that's foodieapparel.net
Okay.
for your hats, your hoodies, your t-shirts,
Okay.
tank tops, all those things. You can get at foodieapparel.net. And I've been in business with that for about 6 years.
Okay.
But as I continue with education, the great thing about education is you have a lot of time
Right.
to work on your own things.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. So with that time, I said, man, let me start some other stuff, man. Let me get down and start some other things. So I took this entrepreneurship class at Clark Atlanta University.
Okay.
We got up to HBCUs, and I got connected with a couple great brothers down there.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I started Duke's Delicious Dogs.
That's what's up. So for my listeners out there, and particularly, part of our show, we try to inspire and educate. Myself included, educator for many years, New York Restaurant School, and many adjunct professor here in the New York market. I need the listeners to truly understand how many different lanes there are in the food service industry. So as you heard, Brandon and I, our careers are actually parallel, meaning that we went into the Navy as cooks, we came out, then we went to the Culinary Institute, came out, and then cooked, and then went back to school and got bachelor's degrees, and then went to the front of the house and then managed, right? And then, as he said, shift gears into the educational realm and then the entrepreneur lane as consultants. So, it's, for those that are listening, again, the next generation of food service professionals, the beautiful thing about our industry is, you can make maneuvers and change lanes without actually changing entire careers. And clearly, Chef Dukes' career spans all of those lanes, and that 5 to 7 lane highway called the food service industry. Continue, Chef. So then,
Yeah,
what was?
man, it's been a great ride, man. And I was telling Marvin, I said, man, this to be in the food and beverage industry, you gotta love it,
Right.
Because if you don't love it, it will put you on a plate, and it'll eat you just like a filet mignon, man.
It'll simmer you down like a demi-glace.
Exactly, man. So it's either love it or get out. It's one or the other.
Absolutely, absolutely. And an industry that truly, as Black folks, hasn't really loved us too much. You know what I mean, in terms of exposure. But that's systemic racism across all industries. But when we start talking about the food and beverage industry, clearly it takes another level of tenacity, which you have, and insight and drive, which many of us have, to really sustain all of the hurdles. And
it's let me tell you, Jason, man, Ben, it's one thing to be Black and be the back of the house.
Right.
But it's a whole nother ball game to be Black and be front of the house.
Yeah.
Especially in a high-end either Four Seasons or a high-end 5-star restaurant, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother realm of surprise.
Yeah.
For the customers when you come to the table.
Right.
Or when you're dealing with a customer complaint.
Right.
Or even when you're dealing with the staff in the front of the house.
Right.
Yeah. You got to manage those those staff members that are like, oh my goodness, where he come from, right?
Right.
So it's a whole, it's a
They think they know more than you, and they definitely
yeah, man. It's a whole nother realm, that front of the house, man.
It's funny you say that because when I was a sous chef at a restaurant, I'm not going to name any names, but it's still open in New Jersey. It was fairly high end, and there was, this is early '90s. It was a well-known fact that they would not put any black people and any brown or black people in the front of the house as waiters, and these waiters were clearing $150, $200 a day, easy, if not more. And it just was. There's just not going to be any servers. And when I was at the New York restaurant school, we used to, our students used to go on internship as well. And I called up a restaurant, and I had a young lady that wanted to go out on an internship, and she wanted to go in the front of the house. And the guy literally told me she had dreadlocks. She could not be in his dining. And this was in New York City in the 90s, right? That, you just didn't have the certain look, and it's definitely a different and much tougher. I don't know, much tougher, but a different element for a person of color to be in the front. And you go to the table, and the customer says, "Well, go get your manager." Like, well, I am the manager. It's like, so they're not. They just you can't satisfy that customer. Go ahead, Chef.
Exactly. It's just a different type of, I guess, a different type of racism, or different hurdles,
right,
have to be jumped from front to back. But it's still the same. It's just a different form.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean? But yeah, so I mean, the front of the house was a great experience, particularly getting into wines.
I was gonna say, you're very knowledgeable about wines. Extremely knowledgeable about wines. This dude's a bad dude.
Man. I fell in love with wines while I was at the CIA, man. It just blew my mind. Just blew my mind. And I always loved giving recommendations to guests, and pouring the wine for them, and seeing that smile on their face when they're like, man, this is great, and it goes great with my filet, or it goes great with my mahi mahi, or it goes great with my paella. Whatever the case is, man, it's just
right.
To show that expertise, and to show that knowledge, and to show that intellect.
Right.
That's what it was about for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
Showing that intellect, particularly to those customers, like, whoa, who's this guy right here? You know what I'm saying? Right. Those are the ones I really wanted to hit. I really wanted to touch.
Right.
Really wanted to show, like, yo, I got this.
Yeah. This knowledge is real. This education is real.
Exactly.
So let's segue into post-COVID. Where was your business then, and how has it been over the last, coming up on a year now? March is around the corner. It happened in mid-March.
Yeah, I had to pivot with the pop-up restaurant, the Duke's Delicious Dogs. I pivoted a little bit with that, and I minimized my pop-ups just because of the uncertainty of the clientele that was going to come out, and the uncertainty of how contagious the COVID was. So I pivoted, man, and I started doing private dinners.
Okay.
And private dinners for 2, for 4, for 6, for 8. And that thing has taken off so fast, Jason, man. I mean,
wow.
I think from April last year to December, and I think I did at least 30 private dinners.
Wow, that's good stuff.
Yeah, at least, man. And this year, I've had so many inquiries, man, and it's just been amazing. But also my online business has picked up tremendous.
Okay. So let's take a deep dive into them. The Duke's Delicious Dogs. Like, so walk us through each one of those businesses that you have now.
Yeah. Well, so Duke's Delicious Dogs, man, that was something I kind of jotted down when I was in Costa Rica. I said, for some reason, man, I've always been attracted to the hot dog. I guess it's because it's like a blank canvas, man. You can you can do so many things with the hot dog. So many things. And if you look at it, a lot of people don't realize that if you look at it, it's either a beef, it's a piece of beef, it's a piece of pork, or it's a piece of chicken. So with those three types of things, man, you can just add stuff to it and it goes with it. But with Duke's Delicious Dogs, man, it started in my mind, then it got down on paper. And then I took it from paper, and what I did was I started doing interviews. I went out into the public, and I went to hot dog restaurants, and I talked to some of the customers in the hot dog restaurants, people out in grocery stores, etc. And I said, what kind of hot dog do you like? Why, particularly in the hot dog restaurant, why do you come to this hot dog restaurant? What do you get when you come here? And I started to gather some information. I wanted to gather some information from actual customers that love hot dogs. And so then I took that information and I began looking for purveyors or suppliers, local suppliers.
Okay.
Because my thing is, it's all about the local sustainability, man. I don't want a hot dog from the grocery store.
Got you.
I want a hot dog from the butcher shop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want a hot dog bun from the local bakery, man. You know what I mean? I want them to know my name and
right.
You know what I'm saying? So I began to try out different butcheries, and I went with one in Marietta, Georgia, called Haywood Provisions.
Okay.
And they got the best 100% beef, natural hot dog you ever want to taste.
Wow.
So then I took that and I began to do my test kitchens. Just playing around with different toppings and different ingredients and making different sauces. So I said, you know what? All great mom and pop or entrepreneur restaurants always have a comeback sauce or signature sauce.
Right.
In their restaurant. So I said, man, I gotta have me a comeback sauce. So I came up with Duke's comeback sauce. And that's
the sauce to make them come back. That's why it's called.
Yeah, man, you gotta have that comeback sauce, man.
A comeback.
It's like that, brother. So
fam, with that comeback.
To make a long story short, man, I did a lot of test kitchens and I did some tastings with some folks and kind of came up with 5 solid dogs. So I got 5 solid hot dogs.
Okay.
And the number 1 seller is called the Return of the Mac.
Return of the Mac. I like that. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. And that thing sells so fast.
So what is it? Is it beef, chicken, or pork?
No, all my hot dogs are 100% beef. 100% beef.
100% beef. Even the casings.
Yep. No. The casings are sheep casings.
Okay. All right, sheep. So just so listeners out there, sometimes you have people who have a beef hot dog, but it be in a pork casing. You know what I mean? So, for those out there that think they've eaten beef, sometimes it's a sausage, right? Hot dog, sausage, same thing. So there's a little, I want you to drop a little knowledge on them about that.
Yeah. I appreciate that. Yeah, there's no pork whatsoever. So that hot dog comes with Duke's comeback sauce.
All right.
And by the way, it comes on a panda me bun with black poppy seeds.
What type of bun? You broke up a little bit.
It's called panda me.
Panda me bun. Okay.
So it's kind of like a semi-sweet, similar to a brioche.
Okay. Buttery.
Yeah, man. Little black poppy seeds on there, man. And so it comes with Duke's comeback sauce. You got the Haywood Frank. Then you drop that mac and cheese on top.
Oh my.
Yeah. Now keep in mind, this is not baked mac and cheese. This is stovetop mac and cheese. There's a difference, right?
Okay.
The stovetop mac and cheese is gonna fall right down on the hot dog. Right? It's creamy.
It's creamy, yeah.
Right. See, the baked mac and cheese is more of a congealed mac and cheese.
Drier.
You can't do the baked mac. You got to do the stovetop mac.
Gotcha.
So it's got the stovetop mac, which lays right on top of the hot dog. And then I come on top with some apple smoked bacon bits. And then I finish it off with just a little bit of scallion.
Little scallions. Okay.
Ooh, that thing there, boy, that thing there, Jason, man. That thing, I can't keep enough of those, man.
You are watching a master at work.
Yeah. Yo,
Now,
go
now,
ahead.
let me tell you, Jason, you'll love this, Jason, being the restaurant guru that you are. Guess how much I sell that hot dog for?
Oh man, sound like I would pay $10 for that hot dog.
There you go. I charge $11, man.
I'm saying shit. I pay $10 for that. I want one
11,
now.
$11, man. So you know my profit margin is beautiful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk at the end of the show about it. But
No doubt.
man, them dogs sound so delicious, man. Any other science you want to drop in terms of the how to make a high quality hot dog and cook it? Do you steam them? Do you boil them? Do you simmer them? Do you sear them? Like
Yeah, that's
what's
a great question, Jason. Basically, the hot dog comes smoked, so it's already smoked.
got you?
So what I do is I
And this is your
sear it.
proprietary hot dogs recipe anyway that you're getting, right?
Say that one more time.
It's your proprietary hot dog that the initial
Yes.
dog, the initial sausage is your recipe.
It's Haywood's recipe.
Haywood's, okay.
Yeah, it's Haywood's recipe.
Okay.
So all I do is I sear the dog.
Yep.
I steam the buns,
Okay.
and I do the toppings.
Got you.
Beautiful.
Got you.
And I think the key to a pop-up is, in my opinion, is to have 4 or 5 solid dogs, man, that you do extremely well, and that's what you sell.
Right.
That's
right.
what you sell.
What are some of the other toppings?
I got one called the Italian Stallion.
Okay.
I got one called the pork and bean. Now that one does have pork on it,
Okay.
but it's a play on the beanie weenie.
Yeah. Who
So
hasn't
it's got some nostalgia.
Who hasn't had beans and
Right?
wieners growing up as a
Yeah,
child?
man. So it's got some nostalgia attached to it. Now this dog comes with the Duke's comeback sauce,
Come back, so
and then it comes with a long strip of maple candy bacon. So I maple and candy this bacon.
Oh my goodness.
So it brings a nice sweetness to it.
Right.
And then I do some nice beans on top.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Right out the door. Out the door, man.
Woo doggy. Man, no pun intended. Woo doggy. Right.
Out the door, man.
Jeffro Bodine.
And I'll tell you another one I got. I got a nice light one for folks that don't want to, go overboard. And that's called a California Dreaming.
Okay.
Now this California Dreaming, man, it comes with a little Duke's comeback sauce. But see, then I flip it on Jason. Then I flip it. I do a nice pineapple salsa, pineapple jalapeno salsa.
Okay.
Then I finish that off with a little avocado cream.
Man,
okay, that thing that's so good, man.
Wow.
It's so good and so light, so delicious.
Sound like you've really done your research and development and applied obviously all your years of knowledge and education and experience to doing it. So we're gonna franchise this thing, right? I told you.
I'm telling you, man, it's a hit.
I'm working on it. Trust me.
It's a hit. It's a hit.
Yeah, we're gonna find you a location here in New York in the next soon as like June, July. As soon as this COVID thing kind of starts to go in the other direction, yeah, we're gonna do this, brother.
It's a hit, man.
Be ready.
It's a home run. I'm telling you.
All right, so talk to me about the apparel. Any other way? So that's it. You already said about the apparel, and then now the Duke's hot dogs, Duke's delicious dogs. So what's the pre-COVID plan besides you and I, creating a prototype that we're going to roll out eventually?
Man, I think that Duke's delicious dogs. The great thing about doing pop-ups is first of all, is you.
Right.
So you get immediate feedback and interaction from your customers.
Right.
Good, bad, or indifferent. So the great thing about that is, man, I know it's a home run. I know it's a hit.
Right.
People love it, man, and for sure that makes me happy, man, because I put a lot of work into
Right.
rolling that out.
Right.
Know?
Right.
It just wasn't a overnight boom. I'm out there. No, man, you got to put before you present it to the public, man. It's got to be ready.
It's got to be right. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
I definitely want to. Duke's Delicious Dogs is a hit, man, and I know it's a hit, and I want more people to know it's a hit. So,
okay.
And then secondly, man, the apparel, the apparel, I'm pivoting a little bit on the apparel.
Okay.
And I'm doing more local designs. Like, for example, the hoodie I have on now is called ATL Food Lover.
Okay.
Right, and it's got, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got got the little Georgia peaches right there.
Yeah, I see that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm focusing more because when I first started Foodie Apparel, I wanted to cast a wide net. Oh, I'm gonna take over the world kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then I figured it out after a year or so. No, man, you gotta constrict that.
Right.
Start local with the designs.
Right.
And then work your way out.
Right, exactly.
So I definitely want to continue on the locality of the designs, and push more designs out on a more frequent basis.
Okay.
And then possibly learn how to press.
Okay. To reduce your costs.
Reduce my costs.
Right. So if I was to ask you to speak to a young Brandon Christopher Dukes at your age now, your level of expertise and experience and wisdom, what would you tell young Brandon?
What would I tell young Brandon, man? I would tell young Brandon to man, just always believe in yourself, man. Always go for the gusto.
Right.
Always. And one thing I learned is you can't do everything on your own. You can't do it all by yourself.
Preach, brother. Preach.
It took me a long time to kind of open up to more working relationships, business relationships. Because I've always been the kind of, I'm gonna do it all myself. I'm a one-man wrecking crew,
Right.
So I would probably tell young Brandon, man, be open to more business and job relationships, man, and see where those things are taking.
Right. Yeah. Collaboration,
man.
Collaboration. Yep.
I guess I've always been, from being from Decatur, and you tend to be less trusting of everybody, man. So right. I guess I would say be more trusting too, man. Cause be more trusting, be more open to more relationships. Because a lot of times I realize, and we know this, a lot of times it's not what you know, it's who you know, and when you know them.
Exactly. Timing is important.
Yeah, bro.
So let's promote. How do people get in touch with you? How do people, do you ship the dogs, the brand and the Duke's Delicious dogs? Are they frozen and can be shipped, or no? Or what about the apparel? So let's one of those.
Duke's Delicious dogs is right now is local.
Okay.
I can come and do catering. I can come and drop off.
Okay. Local to where? Where are you?
Oh, right now I'm in Conyers, Georgia, but I can go 2 hours out if you need me to.
What part of Georgia?
Conyers,
Georgia.
Conyers, Georgia. That's about 30 minutes east of downtown Atlanta.
Okay, 30 minutes outside of Atlanta. Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I can deliver hot dogs. I can come do a catering. I can drop off. I can come do a cooking class with the hot dogs if you like.
Okay.
And then my apparel is everywhere in the United States, man. I can deliver anywhere
Okay.
with shipping. And you can find me on Instagram
Okay.
at Foodie Apparel _. You can find me at Chef BK Dukes _. And you can find me at Dukes.
Both of those.
Okay. You can find me at Foodie Apparel _ on Instagram. Chef BK Dukes _ on Instagram, as well as Dukes _delicious _dogs on Instagram. And Dukes Delicious Dogs and Foodie Apparel are both on Facebook. And I'm also on Twitter at Brandon K. Dukes as well.
Okay. Do you want to put an email out there or no?
Absolutely. You can email me at brandonkdukes@gmail.com.
Brandon K. Dukes @gmail.com.
Don't forget the K. Don't forget the K.
Brandon K for Christopher. That's my man right there.
Exactly, man. Because it's amazing how many people forget to put the K in there, man.
Yeah. Brandon K. Dukes. Wow, Chef. So before we wrap up, any last parting words, wisdom, experience, message you'd like to send to my listeners?
Man, I want to tell the young brothers and sisters out there that are embarking on their food and beverage journey to always believe in yourself. Don't let any man or woman stop your dream. And always learn, and learn some more. Never stop learning. And then always be open to opportunities, different avenues. Sometimes you gotta let go and go with the flow.
Right.
That's where I want to leave to the youngsters out there. And the last thing I want to tell the youngsters out there, you gotta compete. You gotta compete.
Mm-hmm.
If you out here and you're not competing, you're gonna get left behind. You gotta have that competitive fire in your belly and in your mind. Compete. It's too much. It's too much of you going to a lot of back of the house now, Jason, man. You're gonna see a lot of Mexicans. And you know why? Because they compete. They're willing to put the work in.
Right.
They're willing to do the overtime.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we some of us, we got to compete. Yeah, you got that degree or yeah, you got that, but get out there, man, and compete.
Be competitive. Wow. Chef. It's been truly a pleasure. Time went by so fast.
Wow, man, you're right, man. It's almost 6 o'clock.
Man, I tell you, it's how it is. But listen, man, I want to thank you for your participation and taking time out of your busy schedule. We're gonna talk. I'm telling you, we're gonna franchise these Duke's Delicious Dogs. So we're telling the world right now, be on the lookout for it. Thank you to my sponsors, Cornerstone Business Labs, Cornerstone Productions, Cornerstone Medias, Duke's Delicious Dogs. Check them out. Don't forget the K.
That's right. Don't forget that K.
Thank you very much.
All right, brother. Peace,
Power
man.
to the people.
Power to the people. Let's talk soon, Jay.